put my purse down.
Okay. Okay. Well, first of all, I want to thank you for coming in today.
You're welcome.
I'm glad you set up the time and the appointment to come in and talk to me. I want to, first of all, introduce myself to you. I'm Mrs. Johns. I'm a social worker here at the office. I've been here for about 5 years now.
Okay.
So I just want to make you aware of the confidentiality policy that we have here. Anything that you and I discuss is completely confidential. Nothing that you talk to me about will leave this room
Okay.
unless you give written consent for
Okay.
that to happen. So
Okay.
everything we discuss is between you and I. I received the intake form that you filled out about a week ago, and I've skimmed over it and read some of the indicating things that you want to discuss, some of the details and things like that. So first of all, just tell me a little bit about you, and you've indicated your family on here.
Yeah, well, obviously my name's Brittany. I'm an ABA therapist, so I work with children that have autism, so that alone can be very stressful. I'm in school. Dylan and I are engaged. We have a 3-year-old daughter. Well, she's almost 3. She'll be 3 this month. We're on our second house. We currently still own the first one, so that's kind of a touchy situation too, just because there's that possibility that we might have to make that other payment if needed. Other than that, we're happy, and we just have a couple spots in our life that at least I need some help with. So.
Okay. Reading through this, one of the questions that you were asked was to describe a point in your life, or actually indicate in your life over the last 6 months, how would you sum it up? And you put stressful in all capital letters. You just indicated that there was no time for your family, your homework, and that nobody picks up after themselves. Can you explain to me a little bit more what you're meaning by stressful?
Yeah. Dylan's brother is older than him, and he lives with us. Like I said, this is our second house. We've lived there for a little over a year. His brother has lived there for 9 to 10 months out of that year.
Okay.
So, and he has 3 girls, and they're there on the weekends, every weekend. So, for me to try to find time for myself is very hard, just because when they're there, they want to hang out with me. Or, I feel like with working throughout the week and then picking up my daughter, then going home and making dinner, like, for me, finding time during the week to do homework, I just feel like it's harder, and I feel like the weekend would be easier. But then Reese and his girls are there, and they're always wanting to hang out. So for me, that's kind of an issue. So then, that's led to turning homework in late, or it's just kind of crazy at the house. So.
Okay, crazy meaning, if I'm hearing you right, you're saying crazy is indicating how you have actually extra family members in the home.
Yes.
You're not having time for your family, just you, your partner, and your daughter.
Right.
The extra mouths to feed, and just the picking up is becoming an issue.
Yes, there's been times that we have, after they leave Monday morning, Bill and I came home Monday afternoon, we've tried to go through and pick up the house, because they're not made to pick up the house when they leave. So we went through and have cleaned the entire house. We've had trash bag full of trash. We have found pop cans, candy wrapper, just ridiculous stuff behind the couch or in between the cushions or in the drawers, stuff that it's almost like they're kind of hiding it, or they don't want us to know that they're eating our food, so then they hide it, but then it's just creating a bigger mess and making our house just a disaster.
Okay, when you say our food, how do you guys do that then? Because it sounds like you're indicating that might be an issue, that the kids or Reese are getting into your food.
Yes,
is that an issue in the home?
Yeah, it is. Yes. I buy Dylan, Avery, and I's groceries, so that our family has groceries, and then Reese is supposed to buy groceries for himself and his girls.
Okay.
And it's hard, because when we put the food in the fridge, I almost feel like it's to the point where we have to label everything, and I don't feel like we should have to do that. Like, they should know this is not our food. Or I just feel like the girls should know to ask, if this isn't our food, or Dad, is this yours? And if he says no, then leave it at that. Or come ask us, but they don't. They take it upon themselves to get in the fridge or in the cabinet and eat the food, which, if they want it, that's fine, but I would just rather them ask, because there's been many times I have bought stuff for our daughter to take to school for lunch, or I've bought for myself to take to lunch, and I come to Monday or during that week and I can't find it because somebody's already ate it or it's gone or whatnot.
Okay.
So
I can sense in your voice that's very frustrating.
yes, very
I
frustrating.
can understand how that would cause stress in your life. One of the things that you indicated, some of the stressors in your life, you said turning in homework, which is
Yes.
something that you talked about just a
Yes.
few minutes ago. And you also indicated you said bill money on time. Can you explain that, what you mean by bill
Yeah,
money on time?
Just like the groceries, Dylan and I, we pay for our part of the bills, and then Reese pays for his part. Dylan and I, we get paid the same week. So I'll send out a thing and say, this is how much these bills are, and then I'll send a message to Reese saying, this is how much your bills are, I need the money by this date, and he gets paid opposite week. So it's usually, oh, can you wait till next week, or okay, that's fine, I'll get it to you as soon as I can. Well, sometimes it's that next week, and oh, I don't have the money. So then it's upon Dylan and I to take it, and then we have to either pay his half, like we just had to pay his half of the house payment because he didn't have the money.
Okay.
So there's been many times that I've just paid the bills, and then that leaves me short, or it's just, yeah, that's kind of stressful, just because then
Okay.
it makes myself short for that week.
Having money to
Yes,
take care
yes.
of your needs. Okay,
Yes.
so summing that up, it's saying that, sounds like you're indicating to me that you are very frustrated because you're having to cut into maybe your savings to
Yes,
cover.
and I did have to do that recently when it came to
Okay.
paying bills. I did have to get into my personal savings account so we could pay Reese's bills.
Okay, all right. You indicated that there are some things going well in your life. You talked about you're back in college. You said you work full-time and you're about ready to celebrate your daughter's 3rd birthday. Tell me some of the things that are going well in your life. Some of the things that make you feel good about what's taking place.
Well, the going back to school is a big thing for me, just because fresh out of high school, I have started taking classes, and I kind of started hanging out with the wrong crowd, and then that just led to me not doing very well in school. So then I took a break. Then I finally started up, and in the middle of that semester, I found out I was pregnant. I finished that semester, and I was going to sign up for the next, and my due date was when finals were going to be.
Okay.
So I thought, well, I don't want to risk that, so I took that semester off. I waited until our daughter was born, and I tried then to go back to school, and that was just having a newborn baby, and at that time, Dylan was working second shift, so I kind of felt like I was a single parent at that
Right.
time, and for me, it was harder working full-time, having a newborn, and going to school. That was hard for me, so I finally feel like I'm at the place in my life where I can go to school, because Dylan's not on seconds anymore, so if I need that time, it's there, but it's not always there for me to go. So going back
Okay.
to school, college is a big
Okay.
thing.
That is a big plus in your life. I mean, for somebody to have a child, especially a young child, as you're indicating she's nearly 3, and to be able to work full-time
Yes.
and go back to school, college
Yes.
is a job in itself, so
Yes.
I praise you for that, because
Oh,
that is a
thank you.
big accomplishment. So that is something going well in your life.
Well, and then the working the 8 to 4, sometimes 8 to 4:30, and then I pick her up and I go home, and it's dinner, bath, and then it's bedtime, and by that time I'm ready to go to bed too, because my job is exhausting. So having that full-time job and going to school, to me, is hard, because it's like
Can wear you
24,
out.
yeah, 24/7.
Yeah. And you have a daughter who's gonna be 3.
Yes,
so
this
that's
month, yeah.
a lot of fun, I'm sure.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so I see the joy in your face when you talk about these things that are going well. So that's a nice balance, you could say,
Yeah.
sometimes the good with the things that are causing the stress. So
Mhm.
those are some good, happy times in your life. What would be one of your greatest fears that you feel are right now?
Well, I would say right now it would be his brother Reese staying with us forever.
Forever. That's a long time.
Well, I just feel like this is the second time that he has lived with us, and to me, him being the older brother, I feel like he should be the one taking care of the younger brother. Should be taking care of Dylan, not the other way around. I just find it stressful because he works full time. He makes $26, $27 an hour. Yeah, he pays support, but he doesn't have his girls all the time. So I feel like he should be able to save the money to be able to pay his bills, be able to get his own house. So for me, a fear would be that he just won't get his act together and grow up, I should say, and be
Right.
responsible
Okay,
and be on his own.
I understand that. Having some extra people living in your
Yes.
home can be stressful, as you're indicating to
Yes.
me. So eventually you're hoping that he will get his own place
Yes.
and get out.
Yes,
Okay.
and I mean for himself, not just for me. Like I want him to be able to take care of himself.
Right.
So
Right, I understand what you're saying. You indicated to me that your main reason for coming in today was you were seeking advice or maybe some assistance in helping you come up with a solution to the problem that you're indicating is the stress that you're having in your life with having an additional family living with you, 3 more kids,
yes,
a full-grown man. You've indicated how it can be hard having to work full-time, go back to school, do all the household responsibilities
yes,
that a parent has to take on. And you're just wanting maybe to come up with a solution to help solve this. And you told me that the individuals that were aware of the problem, you put down Dylan, which is your
Yes.
partner, correct?
yes.
Okay, then you have Reese, which is the brother-in-law we're
Yes.
talking about. Okay, and then you have oblivious. Tell me what you mean by oblivious when you're mentioning Reese.
I just feel like when it comes to the bills or when it comes to the girls, his girls, I just feel like he doesn't realize how stressful and how much of a burden it really is. I just feel like he has no idea what, I don't know, I guess how he's living his life, our house, how that's impacting our life,
Okay.
not giving us the family time I just feel like he has no idea.
Like he's just not real aware
Yeah.
of how it's affecting
Yes.
the others in the
Yes.
home. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I would like to talk to you now about maybe a possible goal or solution that you would like to talk about. What, in your opinion, what do you think would be something like a first step that you could take to help maybe relieve some of the stress? Because you're talking about the stress of the extra people in the home, the stress that you're feeling from not having time as a family, just you, your partner, and your daughter. You're talking about the stress of having to borrow from yourself to help cover the bills from Reese. What's something that you think that maybe you could do before we meet again in a week, like a goal that you'd like to kind of set between now and then that might help with some of this? Is there something that you...
Maybe just sitting down and talking to Dylan and letting him know, like, you know, how I really feel about all this. I mean, I voice my opinion and how I feel about him sometimes, but not that he's not listening, but I almost wonder if he just doesn't realize how stressful it is when I work 8 to 4 and have schoolwork and then, you know, then have to take care of our daughter and then on the weekends have all the extra people and have to worry about everybody. So maybe just sitting down and just telling him, just sit here and just listen. Let me just tell you, and then see if him and I can kind of work something out
Okay.
on just, you know, helping figure out some
Maybe
stuff.
some baby steps.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I think that's a good first step. Maybe Dylan he hears you, but maybe he's not really sensing the urgency in your voice
Right.
to make a change.
Right.
Okay, I think that would be a good first step too. At this point, what I'd like to do is maybe just let you know I'd like to see you again in maybe a week,
Okay.
and we'll get that appointment set up, and maybe have that conversation with Dylan and see what the two of you can come up with. Maybe there's some steps that you guys can start, and then we'll touch base on that when we meet again in a
Okay.
week. Okay? You
Sounds
think that
good.
would work out?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I want to thank you again for coming in today.
All
Okay.
right. Thank
All right.
you.